All right. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to yet another edition of the RnRGzrs show. I'm your host, Murph. And as always, please send a subscribe our way if you haven't already. Like a few videos, comment, and all that good stuff, and we'd appreciate it. And of course, joining me in this crazy ride is my co-host, Doc Vox. How you doing over there, Doc?
Doing quite well, sir. Thank you so much. Yeah, it's been a great rock and roll filled week, and man, some weeks we just report on the news, and other weeks the rock gods
They
have
shower us with
yes, our cup is overfilled. Yes,
yes. Well, it really is. It really is. Geez, we only report on half the news that's out there, and our show is still basically an hour. So we just can't go for can't. People get bored with that. So
yeah, there's some
we try and give you
very
the really high the high pointed ones that
right.
really mean something because there's a million items out there, but we gotta Doc's gotta he chooses carefully on what we've got, and we've got another full boat tonight, Doc. Jiminy creep.
Yeah, there's some juicy nuggets out there right now, but yeah, it's been a pretty good week. I come across a show I want to tell the good folks about real quick.
Go ahead.
Folks may have heard of it and may be watching it. Some of you show on Amazon Prime. Seems like all the good shows are on the streaming services anymore, but
Mm-hmm.
the show called Daisy Jones and the Six.
Ah,
It's a show about a rock band in the 70s in Laurel Canyon. I don't see them really modeled after anybody in particular, but I get kind of a Fleetwood Mac kind of feel off of it. But the star of the show is a young lady named Riley Keough, who you may
oh,
know as Lisa Marie's daughter. Yeah,
Elvis's granddaughter.
Elvis's granddaughter,
Oh my gosh!
and she is astonishingly talented. She is,
Really?
yes, mind-blowingly talented. And
Wow!
yeah, she may come out being the most talented one in that family, man. That's saying a lot.
Wow!
She definitely can act better than Elvis, that's for sure. But
Oh, come away! Oh, jeez.
yeah, that was all those movies. I don't think he ever received any award nominations or anything. But nonetheless, no,
Wow!
just a shout off to that real quick. One of those things in the
I'll be darned.
rock and roll landscape. I like to keep everybody abreast of, I suppose. So, but
Mm,
yeah, lots of news to get into other than that. So yeah, let's jump into it.
let's fire off right away. Oh boy, here's an odd situation that happened, but I remember when I said back when I was watching some videos of Motley Crue last year on their last tour with Mick Mars, and I said they got a rhythm guitarist back behind the stage.
Right?
He's
Yep.
not on front stage because I can hear him. When Mick Mars is doing the leads, and you got the bass player and there's a rhythm guitar there. Well, no, that apparently not. Legendary drummer Carmen Appice. He claims that he talked to Mick Mars, obviously, and
Yeah,
Mick
they're good
Mars was
friends. Yeah.
unhappy playing that tour because much of the music was pre-recorded. There we go. Bam! I knew it.
Not the vocals.
Well, no, if they
The
were,
guitar.
they would have been better. Yeah,
That's
yeah.
what I'm saying. Of the four parts there, it seems like that would be the one you want pre-recorded. But
Well, wait a while now. They've seen him cheating this year, right? Maybe he was cheating a little bit last year. They've caught him.
well,
They've
we
caught it.
saw the whole
Oh, this is
Tommy
just
Lee cheating too. So
and Carmen says, I've been talking to Mick, and he told me when I was on the stadium tour, I was not happy. Basically, everything was on tape. It was all planned out, and ultimately a lot of crap. And Mick's a pretty good player, and so to now let him loose and play the way he wants, that was never going to work for him. Jiminy creepers. So it seems like everything has been weird for a while with Motley Crue, and Mick didn't like that. Everything was on tape. Mick told me that people that came to see it could tell that it was all pre-recorded and that everything was on tape.
well,
Oh,
you
boy.
certainly could. Yeah.
Yep, well, that rhythm guitarist, doggone it. That's how they made it sound so full. So they're playing along to a freaking tape. I'll be darned. What a shit. Jeez. But then, oh man, then Nikki, Nikki Sixth
Oh,
comes
of
back
course. Yeah, of course he's got to have something to say. Yeah.
and blasts legendary drummer Carmen Appice, a has-been drummer basically, and all that, calling him what was it? What was you got that quoter?
No.
But jeez. So he basically called Carmen Appice, a has-been drummer and all this stuff, and giving him crap. Carmen Appice, for folks who don't know, he was a drummer of Cactus, and he was a drummer of Vanilla Fudge. As a matter of fact, if you go to our RnRGzrs Facebook page, I posted a video of Vanilla Fudge live on the Ed Sullivan Show. You can see just how much of a ruthless SOB this guy was on the drums, Carmen Appice. But now he's an old coot, so Nikki Sixx is going to call him a has-been or something, and he does. But it was taped, Nikki Sixx, so what are you complaining about? And then Carmen comes back to Nikki Sixx with a comeback. This just happened pretty recently.
Yeah, here's what Nikki had to say.
Okay, go for it.
Yeah, love how people talk for us without talking to us. This is why the media has lost credibility. Well, he's the one to talk there. Obviously, by printing BS, they make money off of advertising, and we're not into that clickbait game. When the truth comes out, it will be from us.
Well, this was from Mick Mars. So pardon me, but he's part of the band. When the truth comes out, what do you mean?
Well,
so there is something to it.
We're hearing a third party from Mick, though. We're hearing it through Appice. So,
well, I don't hear Mick speaking up.
Yeah, we haven't heard anything directly from Mick Mars. So,
and if it's pre-recorded, just suck it up and deal and admit it. Couldn't. Jeez, Nikki.
Well, for Nikki Sixx to say, we'll be the ones to be honest with you. Yeah, that's after your promise of the final tour, we're gonna believe you again, and
But he called him a washed-up drummer. But Carmen comes back with a tweet. He says, "At least this washed-up drummer can play his instrument well, who has pioneered heavy rock drumming and can educate others around the world on his instrument." It's like, well, whatever. This is like a tit-for-tat thing that they just let go. If they were taping, and they were. If they weren't, they had a rhythm guitarist behind the amps, because I heard it. And I'm a musician. I know what I hear. Yeah, I know what a rhythm guitar sounds like on them songs. And so, yeah, they were taped. So just deal with it.
Yeah, you remember we heard a while back too. John Corabi had some similar statements when Mick first kind of decided to step down. So we're hearing all this kind of stuff. It's kind of secondhand, but nothing directly from Mick. But yeah, he was, even on the last tour that he was part of, he traveled separately from those guys, and they didn't really, hang out together or anything. So,
but the question is, what does Tommy Lee think about it? Gotta get his ass in it there somewhere. Jeez. Okay, moving on though. Here's an interesting story. We talked last week about. Here's this picture. Oh, I love this picture of him right there. There he is, Robert Smith. Yeah.
Great picture.
Isn't that a great picture of him? I love his hair.
Good.
His hair's
we've
fabulous.
referenced that a couple times. I'm sure we will again today.
Of course, and he thought he came out with a great idea to beat his scalpers when it comes to in terms of selling tickets on Ticketmaster, and what he if you bought a ticket, it was only yours. It was a non-transferable.
Right.
And then it turns out that people started really complaining because Ticketmasters started putting a service charge on there. All their various charges ended up equaling the amount of the ticket
or even
itself.
more in some cases. Yeah. Yeah. So Ticketmaster, make sure they get their cut, man. They put on more fees. And what I like about this story is Robert Smith made them refund their money the next day.
Wow.
One day, man. They want one kind of, you always hear people, being all politically correct, we got somebody looking into it, and we're trying to do this, we're trying to do that. No, Robert Smith, he's already saved the world once from Robert Streisand.
You want Mecca Robert Smith up your ass? No. You don't want Mega Robert Smith up your ass.
Now he's taking time. He's supposed to be getting ready for a tour, but no, he's got to take time and save the world from Ticketmaster again.
You bloody bastard, you. That's what I would have said.
One day. I mean, he's no screwing around.
See,
man. He's
why couldn't
Smith,
Bruce
man.
do something like that?
I know, man.
I don't know, man. Robert Smith thinking outside the box, man. Outside the box, outside the audio box. So good for him, at least tried. So they got a partial refund. Some of them some of their folks got partial refunds. So
Yeah.
it's brought this to light, and good for him, you know.
Oh yeah, he's
Good
awesome,
for him.
man.
Total respect, man.
Yeah,
Frickin'
absolutely.
A. So good, Robert. Yeah. And of course, that's one a great South Park episode. I mean, that's just outstanding.
We should
Big-
have maybe at the end of the year, like Rocker of the Year or something. Maybe he would be up for that award, you know. Maybe.
That'd be very cool. Very
Yeah.
cool. Speaking of very cool, we go from very cool to not so cool. Gosh, we talk about this guy too much. That'd be Roger Waters. Ugh. Oh, neck pain. Oh. Anyway, Roger Waters. Yeah, you know, last week we talked about how he got some concerts got canceled because he's an anti-Semite. You know, and they just don't want to deal with this crap. So a couple of concerts got canceled, but of course, no, he just can't let it go. No, he may take legal action against the motion to cancel upcoming performances in Germany. So something which he believes to be unjustifiable, an attempt to silence him. Well, that's good. An anti-Semite playing in Germany. What could possibly go wrong with that?
Right.
Gee, many creepers. Wow. So you know,
Well, this stems from, we've talked about this, and he's
Yeah.
been boycotting Israel and been encouraging others to do the same. So, you know, not playing. I guess Tel Aviv is a big market, and he's encouraged others not to play there.
well, I ain't gonna go over it at all.
So that, some other statements, the what's going on over in the Ukraine, he's kind of said it's illegal, but not unprovoked. You know, he's almost kind of taken the Russian side on that. Those people are kind of seeing it that way. So
yeah.
yeah,
But he's pissed off. He says,
he
you know,
can't keep his
freedom
foot out
of
of his
speech.
mouth. Yeah,
You know, he says it's all about freedom of speech, and you know, with those who want to see him perform. Boy, but yeah, Germany. Well, he says their actions are unconstitutional without justification, and based upon the false accusation that Roger Waters is anti-Semitic, which he is.
whose
not.
Constitution?
Yeah, hey, yeah, really. Yeah, the
Yeah.
world constitution of
Yeah,
Roger Waters. He carries around his own constitution. Look
Yeah,
at
right.
here. I get to play wherever I want, whenever I want, and damn you, go to the wall, you bastards, you know. Jeez. So yeah, tough luck, Roger. Jeez. You know, he's gonna continuously be in the news, I'm pretty sure. And our next item here, he's involved again. Gee, many creepers. It's Pink Floyd, you know, we talk all the time about bands selling their catalogs and just,
Right.
you know, cashing in big time. And Pink Floyd, of course, you know, when you think about that, you're thinking their catalog's got to be probably worth a pretty penny. And sure enough, that they've had a sale lined up to sell their catalog for half a big one, $500 million, baby.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
now it appears the deal might be dead because of the two
Gilmore and Waters.
co-conspirators, if you will.
Yeah.
Yeah. But they're arguing about, I don't know what the heck they're arguing.
Yeah, it's basically just because they can't get along, it may not go down. I mean, I gotta say something's got it. I don't know.
Come on already.
I guess they're arguing whether to sell or not. I mean, I can't believe it'd be over the price. It's got to be right, but I don't know.
Oh man,
Who
jeez.
gets what cut? Is that
Well,
what they're arguing about? Who gets what cut out of
Well,
that?
you know,
money?
you know who the main instigator is on that, though. Obviously,
Gotta be
you
Waters.
already know
Gotta
it's
be.
Roger. It's Roger. It's not David Gilmour. God, he's got the best life, man. Great family, got a nice estate out there in the England countryside. You know,
Right.
he's just digging everything, and here's Roger just you know, bitching and moaning about every freaking thing. That's all he does anymore.
Yeah, he's
You
like
know?
one of those kind of grumpy old guys. Just
Calls
kinda
people a bunch of
sitting-
stuff, and then
sitting-
when they call
reading
him
the
back,
paper and bitching about shit. Yeah.
well, so here's his situation here. You know, he you know, anti-Semite, and then when they call him on it and say get the hell out of here, then suddenly he plays victim. Oh, you know, I'm such a victim. Oh, man.
yeah, you can't make some of the statements and do some of the things he does and says and without some kind of repercussions, especially these days. So
Right, yeah. So just go away. Just go. Get your $500 million. Jeez, Really? Yeah, that's about right, though. I'm not surprised. You know,
I can't. I mean,
Springsteen's
it doesn't
went for
go.
half a
Yeah, it
billion.
does. Yeah, it doesn't go into. Oh, I can't imagine. Yeah, 50
It's one of the
years stuff,
top-notch
man. Yeah.
ones. I imagine the Beatles are probably
50
up around
plus.
$1 billion at this point. But
But
wow, half a bill. Take the money. You're getting too old.
it's
You
got to
know?
be over. You know how they divvy up that $500 million. It's got to be. But
Yeah.
who cares? There's 4 of you. How bad could it be?
Yeah,
You
I
know?
only get 125 million. What
Yeah,
the
right.
heck?
Right? I mean, come
Jeez.
on, man.
I want more because I'm an anti-Semite. No, you
Or
don't get more.
I know that's probably if they're selling the whole catalog. That's going back to Sid Barrett days. His
man.
estate probably gets a cut.
Yeah.
But nonetheless, I'm saying, you know, how bad could it be, man? You know,
Exactly. Yeah. You know, you cut it 5 ways. Okay, so they each get 100 mil or 100 mil. Yeah, righteous bucks nonetheless. Here, let me turn off my volume on my phone just in case I get something.
yeah.
Coming up. Oh boy! Speaking of lawsuits and all this stuff, this is an interesting little piece here. Where are they? There they are. There's the Stones.
Yeah, the Rolling Stones.
Yeah, they're facing a copyright lawsuit over living in a ghost town, which a songwriter claims he gave a CD of music to an quote immediate family member of Mick Jagger, with elements of 2 tracks that allegedly used in the band's 2020 song. Yeah,
they put out that single during a pandemic. You know, I don't know, kind of fit during the times, I guess, living in a ghost town, kind of everything was shut down. Remember, excuse me, hearing it when it came out. And this guy, Sergio Garcia Fernandez, wrote a couple songs, one called So Sorry and one called Seed of God, and gave them to an immediate family member of Mick Jagger. I can only imagine. And next thing he knows, that song comes out and it's got that melody to it. And, you know, he's some of the lyrics, you know, so he's you know,
it'll be easy to prove. Since he actually gave, if he actually gave him a CD, and the thing is, I'm sure when he recorded it, it was a time stamp. So, you know, I gotta, you know, jeez. I hope he registered it.
Yeah, if he indeed did that, you know,
make a little money anyway. You know, they got a little money to give. We'll see. What it does is it alleges that living in a ghost town lifted vocal melodies, the chord progressions, the drum beat patterns, the harmonica parts, the electric bass line parts, the tempos, and other key signatures from So Sorry, and the harmonic and chord progression and melody from Seed of God. Geez, basically they must have stolen a whole damn song, because that sounds to me like every part of the song. Well,
I haven't heard the two the guys claiming he sent to him, but
that could very well be, though.
Who knows?
You know, they could be running
like we were talking about last week with Springsteen and Kiss. You know, you got to think. You know, come on, the Stones. Do they really need help? Do they? Maybe they do. You know, maybe I don't know.
Oh boy, I don't know. Good old Stones. God bless the Stones, man. There's something else. But here's an interesting story, and we talked about this last week.
Yeah,
maybe possibly. Let me get her picture.
Yeah, it seems to be.
I love this picture of Jamie Lee.
Seems to be growing legs and gaining some
Jamie Lee Curtis, there she is, looking good.
Oscar winner, yeah.
Oh, yeah, big ring on her finger. But, you know, she talked last week about how, you know, some of these bands need to start doing matinee performances. She said like noon or 1 o'clock, but I would go with like 3 o'clock, because then you could still, you know, have a nice dinner afterwards or whatnot. But this group called the Kitchen Dwellers. Never heard of them, of course, but they're getting their 15 minutes of fame here. They're adding a Sunday matinee to their Pine Creek Lodge run just for Jamie Lee Curtis. You know, and that's good for them. Good for them for snapping up the
exactly
advertising.
Jumping on the opportunity, man.
No publicity is bad publicity. Just ask Frank Zappa. Yeah,
I'm sure they were sitting around and said, "Here's a chance to get our name out there, and if we could jump on this and kind of, you know, jump on her coattails a little bit and piggyback on that, boom, let's get our name out there." So,
you know,
they're playing the Pine Creek Lodge, for crying out loud.
Well, the Kitchen Dwellers have a 4th show to their upcoming homecoming run at the Pine Creek Lodge in Livingston, Montana. Montana MT, that would be Montana MT.
Yeah.
And it's a Sunday matinee per the request of Oscar winner Jamie Lee Curtis.
Yeah, I'm sure she's gonna pop into Montana to check out the matinee show.
Well, they're a Bozeman-born jamgrass quartet, man, according to this. So, wow, I'm sure she's very excited about that. But I see her point. Maybe not a Sunday matinee, but Saturday. I don't know. I'm getting old, man. You keep saying how well the shows end by 10 o'clock. Usually, I'm in my recliner looking at the clock, saying, "Come on, 10 o'clock, so I can go to bed."
Yeah,
I'm a true geezer, man. I'm a true geezer. Yeah. So I don't know. That'd be interesting. We'll see if any other bands jump on this bandwagon,
like I said,
if you
it seems
will.
like this story's kind of getting around, and people are kind of considering it. So we'll see.
I don't see why not. As long as you can get the bands out of bed, from their coke-filled shenanigans the night before, crying out loud, hippie rock stars.
It's a damn MTV, I tell you. Damn kids.
So good for kitchen dwellers, I bet you they work in the kitchen at Pine Creek Lodge, and that they just gig on the side.
Go.
So they actually work in the kitchen. That would
not
be
be
great.
Surprised, man. Good call, man.
Oh, speaking of good calls, my man, here's a good call on your part. Joe Elliott. Now, you talked about this last week, how when Taylor Hawkins passing, he passed in Columbia, correct?
Right.
Yeah, and it's like what, 8,000 feet above sea level?
Whatever. I don't even know. Yeah.
But Joe Elliott brought up how he was having real serious trouble, when he was there with the thin air, and wow, yeah, you brought that up, and he seems to agree with Doc Vox. That's amazing, man.
Yeah, we was talking about where Joe Elliott had been seeking some medical care when the Def Leppard was recently in Bogota, and it was altitude sickness, what it was diagnosed with. And I brought up at the time that there was where Tyler left us, so maybe there was something going on, kind of messing with his system as well. And now Joe Elliott's kind of saying the same thing, and he's saying the altitude was a bit of an issue. Incidentally, we were staying in the Four Seasons, which is the same hotel Taylor Hawkins passed away in. And I wonder whether altitude had something to do with his death, because it's a bastard. It really is. I was born at sea level. I live at sea level. And to do a gig 8,500 feet above sea level is not easy. So, maybe it's just enough. I mean, he was found with 10 different substances in his body, and no official cause of death has ever been.
That might have been the camel that broke the straw's back.
There you go.
Yeah. I know how that is, man.
Just enough of a shock to the system.
I could imagine high altitude. It's got to be horrible. Cripes. I can't even walk from the back of the parking lot to at the amphitheater. Geez. So I then I lose my breath. Lose my breath with all my health shit. But man, yeah, I wouldn't doubt that at all. Just enough drugs in his system that little lack of full oxygen.
Right.
Boom. Be damned. That Doc Vox, man, freaking A. I tell you, you're something, man. Good call. I bet you're correct. Yeah.
That's why I'm a doc, man.
Isn't that the truth? Jiminy creepers. Okay, moving on. So many items here. I tell you what.
Many, I know.
Oh, incredible. Oh, the amazing. Where are they here? There they are. Nickelback. I couldn't find a funny picture of them. I looked real hard. I was trying to find a picture of a horrible Swedish pop band, because some of them bands have the worst dressed and haircuts, and I couldn't find one, so I had to go with an actual picture of Nickelback. But I shouldn't make fun of them. They were inducted into the Canadian Music Hall of Fame as part of the 2023 Juno Awards.
Right.
And we talked about this. Yeah, if of course they're going to be, because who the hell else are they going to induct at this point? I'm sure Rush is in there, and Bryan Adams, and maybe that other three-piece band.
I happen to have a list here.
Oh, you do?
I do. So the Canadian music icons spanning many genres include Deborah Cox. Not familiar with. Oh, she's kind of like dance music, maybe or something. I'm not sure. Alanis Morissette. Okay. Buffy St. Marie. Oh boy, that's going back. Bare Naked Ladies. Jan Arden, Joni Mitchell, Katie Lang, Leonard Cohen, Neil Young, Oscar Peterson, Rush, The Guess Who, The Tragically Hip, Sarah McLachlan, and Shania Twain. And now Nickelback has joined.
Shania Twain, Canadian. I'm going to be seeing a Canadian this summer.
Or Canuck.
I'll be darned. Oh, wow. Wow, that's a lot of Canadian. That's basically it, though. That's the whole damn. That's the whole damn musical scene.
Where's Brian Adams, man? I think Brian Adams.
He ain't in there.
No, I know. Maybe he is. They just don't have him listed.
Yeah, there's a mistake there. He has to be, and he had plenty of hits worldwide.
You got Anne Murray. Remember Anne Murray? She has a lot of hits.
Oh yes, actually, yeah. Well, yeah, Anne Murray. Yeah.
So
there's a.
maybe there are more, but
I got a backstory on Anne Murray.
Article.
Yeah, I got a backstory on Anne Murray. But
nobody has a backstory on Anne Murray.
I have a backstory on Anne Murray on one of her songs, anyway. All right. So Nickelback, good for them, man. Party on, dudes. You know, they're making a ton of money. He's worth like $40 million. So
yeah, they're kind of trying to be humble. They kind of in their speech says, no matter what, I feel undeserved of such an honor. I just think that this should be bestowed upon people better than we are, more accomplished musicians than we are, people who've been around longer than we have. So to find out that we want to induct us that you want to induct us in the Hall of Fame is a bit of a pinch me moment for sure. So yeah, I don't know who else. Like I said,
are we seeing them? I don't know.
Yeah,
we are. So we're going to be seeing Canadian Hall of Fame legends. For crying out loud! This is unbelievable, man. I'm stunned. Here's something I'm not stunned about. This screw off. This jerkwad. This F-stick, Gary Glitter. Douchebag. Look at this douche. God, he was a douche back in the day. And boy, he turned out to be. He
never really hit over here. He had the rock and roll part 2.
Right.
They played a lot of basketball games.
And then what? He didn't even sing on it. Yeah, he didn't even sing on it.
I think Joan Jett covered a couple of his songs. But
really? He actually had some songs.
Yeah, over in England. He had a lot of hits over in England.
So anybody who doesn't know, Gary Glitter wrote the da-da, hey, da-da-da-da-da-da-da, hey, da-da-da-da-da.
Rock and Roll Part 2 is the name of the song.
Jeez. But yeah, he's a pedophile. He's a child predator, convicted pedophile, Gary Glitter. He's back behind bars for breaching his bail agreement a month after he was released from prison early.
Yeah.
So this douchebag, his real name was Paul Gadd. He was jailed for 16 years in 2015 after being found guilty of sexually abusing 3 young girls between 75 and 80. Sentenced to attempted rape, 4 counts of indecent assault, 1 count of having sex with a girl under 13. That should give him 50 years right there, 5-0.
Get him castration right there.
During sentencing, judge he could not find a Glitter. He hadn't atoned for his crimes, but they got out after 8 years. So they let him out after 8 years for crying out loud. And what does he do? Actually, it doesn't say in the article what he does.
No, it just says violates the terms of the probation.
Yeah, well, he was in a probation home or something, whatever they call him over there. Gary, you're in a probation home. And a bunch of protesters started protesting outside.
Right.
But that's all they tell us. So they won't pick him up and put him back in. And that's fine, even if it's just for the protesters. Good for them.
Yeah, from what I understand, if you're on probation, it doesn't take much to go back. Any small thing that can be perceived as a violation, they scoop your ass up and throw you back in. So they don't go in and say what the actual violation was, but just the probation violation. So
here it says
just as well. I don't care what it was. He should have never been out.
Police were called to a disturbance at his bail hotel. That's what they call them. Hey, send them to the bail hotel in Hampshire a few days after his release. after a crowd of protesters are understood to have gathered outside the property. So they put him back, ass back. Good. Doesn't matter. Just keep him in there.
Yep. Yeah.
You know, what a
It's
waste
one of
of
those type of guys that like goes over to like Thailand and shit to, molest little girls and shit. He's
like a Jared thing, ain't it?
Dude, you gotta watch that, man. The Jared thing. I don't know if people have on Hulu. They have a thing on Jared, and that's quite shocking.
The Subway guy, Jared from Subway.
Yeah. That's quite shocking. And this guy, I'm sure, is right there to the same kind of ilk, man.
Look at his douchebag. Just really, probably never been laid by a woman. A guy like that, really never been laid by a woman. Right. Douchebag, jerk off,
and a half, man.
F stick.
Yeah, I guess they're working on a Netflix series about this dude, man. Which I don't know. That could be interesting, but be disturbing for sure.
Yeah. Everything's streamed anymore. Like you said, it's just crazy. Gosh. Speaking of this is like a chip off the old Rob Zombie block here.
Yeah.
Slash, there he is, legendary Slash. Yeah, he's launching a new horror film production company called Berserker Gang, which there you go. He's a horror fan, and he's gonna expand. Gonna start putting some energy into, like Rob Zombie, start putting some energy into producing some horror movies. Apparently, wow.
Yeah, he's kind of put this group together, different people like magazine people and stuff, and just fans of like horror movies. And they say they just want to put out like really quality horror movies, and so they got something coming out. It's going to be at a festival. Well, they had something that before they did this. I guess maybe what initiated doing this. They worked on a project and they presented at a Canadian film festival, and it did pretty good. So. That's going to be coming out next year called, let's see my notes here, called The Breach. It's going to be related later this year. That was presenting Canada's Fantasia Film Festival last year. So I guess now they focused on putting a whole company together and making cool horror movies, man. So, yeah.
Cool beans. And he's still playing a little bit. It says here that, they're going to be, the Guns N' Roses will be headlining Glastonbury alongside Elton John and Arctic Monkeys. So he's still going to be obviously in music, but some of these guys, they like to just they got to get more things out there. They music's once you make the money, once you make the money, then you can afford to expand, do things you really like to do besides playing music. So good for him, man. Freaking A. God, he's already filthy rich. So
yeah, they got people like they formed a partnership with Hangar 18 media producer Pasha Patrica. I'm sure I'm butchering it. Rue Morgue magazine founder and filmmaker Rodrigo Guadino, and Raven Banner executives Michael Past. And all these people have odd names. James Fleer and Andrew T. Hunt. So yeah, kind of put this group together, and
we'll see what happens. If it's a good movie, they'll make a shitload of money. If not, then whatever. I'll be honest. I have a confession to make. I have not seen any of Rob Zombie's movies. I'm not a big horror movie fan. So
I'm not a big horror movie fan at all.
I really haven't.
I did see one of the ones, House of 1,000 Corpses. Is that
right? Yeah, that's one of them. Yep,
yeah, I think that was the one I saw. And I watched like the first 10 minutes of the Monsters thing, and that I just couldn't do it, man.
I'm just not a horror fan, but nonetheless, if people who are, it's a good movie. It's a good movie. So, far out, it's all cool. There's another legendary figure. That would be none other than Chrissy Hines. Is that Chrissy Hines? No.
We got Courtney Love first.
Oh, Courtney Love. Right. Pardon me. Oh boy, man. Wow. She went after the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame for the lack of more female, inductees and nominees and whatnot. And I don't know what to say about that, because rock and roll's always been male dominated, and that's not an issue about sexism or anything. It's just if more gals want to do it, do it. But you know,
Yeah.
don't tell the males they can't. I mean, I imagine for every Pat Benatar, there's probably 100 male bands out there.
Yeah.
So
Well, and that's definitely, in the era we grew up in for sure. But I think since 2000s, probably it's been some female heavy, especially in the pop world. So I think, in the next, couple decades, it's probably going to be a lot of women going into the Hall of Fame.
they're
But
gonna make amends. Yeah.
and they've been trying to the last couple of years, man. They, holy cow, that last year they had Dolly Parton and Carly Simon and what they had Eurythmics with Annie Lennox and who else went? It was like 4 or 5 women went in. So they're definitely trying to get some women in there. But yeah, it's easy to kind of criticize and say there's not enough. I guess it's 8.48% women in the Hall of Fame. So,
but what's the percentage of working
of bands,
quality bands out there?
Yeah.
It may be the same percentage.
Yeah.
So I don't know. She
And
doesn't
then
need
she said
the band.
that the black artists are underrepresented as well, which I got to totally disagree with. But
Oh yeah, really? Yeah, just stop it. The Rock and Roll Hall of Fame's a big freaking mess anyway. But
well, that's what I mean to claim, or to talk about who's not in there, who is there, is giving it legitimacy. That you actually care who's in there and who's not. But I don't know. I've been a big fan of the Hall of Fame. I've been there a couple times. I enjoy it and like keeping up with it. But I gotta say, in recent years, it's kind of getting watered down and kind of a little diluted.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, and Courtney, she shouldn't worry about it because you've heard of her, but you haven't heard her music or anything because she hasn't made any big hits. But she hit the gold mine marrying Kurt Cobain because he's worth $100 million. Yeah. So Courtney's not doing too bad.
And automatically they're gained relevance. Although she's loud enough, she'd be in the news in some sort of way anyway, probably.
Yeah, but I don't know. I don't know if it's it seems like the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame's starting to make amends. Though you've seen a lot of women in there, but at the same, like I say though, for every Pat Benatar, there's probably 50 male bands out there. Right. Just kicking ass too. So. I don't know. I think it's just all sour grapes, man. Sour grapes. And let's move on to the next female legend.
Well, yeah, that's where Chrissy Hines got some comments about it. And
Chrissy Hines right there, yeah.
Of course, she's in the Hall of Fame with the Pretenders, and rightfully so. And she says she really doesn't want anything to do with the Hall of Fame, man. That's not, she's tired of the establishment kind of backslapping kind of stuff, and really doesn't want any part of it. She said the only reason really that she attended, she was in Rio. She was hanging out in Rio when she got the word that they were in the Hall of Fame, and she didn't even really want to go to the ceremony. But she's got to say she did it more for her parents. It's kind of a big moment for them, and she kind of felt that she owed it to them. So that she put them through, and running off to England and all that kind of stuff. So, yeah, she says she's she could really care less about it, or couldn't care less about it.
She said her heart sank because she knew she'd have to go back for it, as it would be too much of a kick in the teeth to my parents if I didn't. So yeah, she really didn't want to. Oh boy.
Yeah, she said other than Neil Young's participation in the introduction process, he must have done the induction speech. The whole thing was and is total bollocks. So, yeah.
It has absolutely nothing to do with rock and roll, and anyone who thinks it is a fool. Huh? She got her head on her shoulders.
Well, it doesn't. It's just a recognition, and to me, really, it's more for the fans. Just to kind of that their favorite artist has been represented, or got in, or whatever. And it's a tourist attraction. I mean, it's good. Call it what it is. It's to bring people in there, and
well, there's Elvis's jock. There's Elvis's jockstrap. Ooh. Hot damn, baby. And then all the hot white cotton panties that he collected over the years. Yeah. Oh, I
missed that exhibit, man. But no,
oh, boy. So did I. Oh,
I did see a TV that he shot at. He was kind of known for shooting TVs. And,
Oh, who was on there? Robert Goulet, right? He was watching Robert Goulet. No, he was watching Robert Goulet when he shot the TV out.
I totally remember that story now.
He does, yeah. Had a boy, Elvis.
Yeah, they had that TV there that he shot. That was pretty cool.
Oh, boy. What isn't cool, though, and this story really pisses me off. Def Leppard drummer Rick Allen, one armed, everybody knows the story. He was
Right.
violently attacked outside the Four Seasons Hotel in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. He stepped outside the hotel for a smoke.
Yeah.
Some 19-year-old punk ass biatch tackles him to the ground.
They just ambushed him just out of nowhere. Just kind of.
And then some gal comes over to help Alan, and the piece of crap attacks her.
Right.
That son of a bitch. A 19-year-old punk. He was smoking outside the hotel. This guy named Hartley emerged from behind a pillar, rushed at the drummer, knocked him to the ground. Alan hit his head on the ground, causing injury, and now the woman comes up, attempts to help him, and was attacked by Hartley multiple times and dragged by her hair. This son of a bitch, he fled the scene, but was arrested after being caught breaking car windows near the hotel. Boy,
this dude was really on something, man. This guy had to be on something.
Here we go, though. Here's the good thing. He was charged with 2 counts of battery. Yeah. 4 counts of criminal mischief. Yeah. But abusing an elderly or disabled adult. Yep. He's in trouble now, brother.
Right?
Yeah, they ain't going to let that one go. I know that. So, good. Go spend some time in prison. Think about what you did. And it's funny because I saw when he was arrested, they had a videotape. And one of the reporters was asking, "Do you like Def Leppard?" Do you like Def Leppard? They're asking him if he liked Def Leppard. Yeah. So, that was just wow. What a dude.
He probably has no idea. Yeah.
But he's in trouble, because
you just attacked the world's only one-armed drummer.
Yeah, and he's over 62 or whatever. So now it's an elderly abuse. So now
he's my age, man. He's like 58.
Yeah, the disabled. They're going after the disabled thing. So, he's in a world of hurt. Yeah, he's in a world of hurt. Yeah, nobody's my age, Doc. Jeez, let's talk about it, brother. Come on. But he released a statement afterwards. Let me see if I can't whip it up here. Here it is. It just says, "Thank you, everyone, for your overwhelming support. Your love and prayers are truly helping. My wife, Lauren Monroe, was thankfully not with me at the time of the incident. We are together now and working on recovering in a safe space." And, boy, the thing is he gets knocked down. And if he gets knocked down on the wrong side, he can't brace himself with his arm. So,
right.
So, and he continues, "We ask you to join us in our effort to move from confusion and shock to compassion and empathy. We understand this act of violence can be triggering for so many people. To all of the fans, veterans, and first responders in our global community, we are thinking of you all. Together with love, we can all get through these difficult times." There you go, man. He's very cool speech on his part, man. Very, laid back and heal up and get back on tour. Yeah, they are in the middle of a tour, aren't they?
That's right. Yeah, that's what happened. Yeah, they're in Fort Lauderdale.
Wow.
They just played at the Hard Rock Live in Hollywood, Florida. And this happened. So
wow, what a punk ass bitch, But the problem is that probably happens 1,000 times around the nation every day. But they're not famous. They're not famous,
Right. Yeah.
But and they're not one armed. I mean, geez, of all the people to mess with, this dumbass punk,
Yeah, it's almost like guys in the band got to take turns hanging out with them, man. So it's
creepers. Dig this coming up. I love this picture. I love this guy. This guy is so quirky. There he is. From the movie Scrooge.
Sure.
David Johansen, outstanding. Oh man, this guy! Talk about a legend in the punk world. Gee, New York Dolls, baby.
Yeah, and just the underground music world. Period. Yeah, he's just
man.
Oh man, guy that's been around forever, man. So
yeah, so they're putting out a Martin Scorsese is co-directing a documentary about David Johansen called "Personality Crisis: A One Night Only," and because he was He was known as Buster Poindexter back then.
Yeah, he was got the hot. Remember that song in the '80s, Buster
Sure.
Poindexter, as one of his personas for a short time there. Yeah, they made a lot of money off of. But yeah, started off New York Dolls, and New York Dolls, man. Here we go. Always got
Wow, dig
some of the
you,
ones I
man.
got. So New York Dolls, if you don't know, they were very polarizing band. So much so, I remember I want to get the magazine right. I think it was Cream magazine. They had the end of the year, where you vote on your favorite new bands and that kind of
Right.
thing. And they were voted best new band and worst new band both.
Outstanding.
So yeah, they're kind of that polarizing.
Johnny Thunder, baby. Yeah.
Yeah, Johnny Thunder and Jerry Nolan and Sylvain
man.
and Arthur Kane and David Johansen.
Oh, there you go, ladies and gentlemen. Wow, the knowledge. Ooh.
Yeah, they just had 2 albums. Their whole story should be a movie, quite honestly, man. It'd be very interesting.
It's very cool. What was he?
After that, then he put out a solo album that I actually have here.
Holy cow! Look at there.
In Style, David Johansen.
Dig that.
Came out, I want to say 77, 79. No, I was off by 2 years. I'm almost never off by 2 years.
Wow.
79. Yeah, that's pretty decent, And then later, like I said, in the '80s, he did the Buster Poindexter thing. So not really a guy that's in the news a lot, or you hear on the radio or anything a lot, but pretty cool guy.
He was great in this movie, man.
Yeah,
he was really good.
So they're doing a show that he did in where did they do the show? It was in January 2020, right before COVID hit, and they kind of Scorsese documented it and made this documentary on it. And there's a lot of performance stuff and question and answer stuff and telling stories of starting off with the Dolls and all that stuff. So yeah, it might be pretty interesting.
Very cool. Well, there you go, man. And all I can say is Waterfall, Frankie Angel, Waterfall. That was a great movie, man. Oh, what do we got here coming up? Who's that? See, I could have, I had a choice of 2 different pictures for this one, but of course I'm going to choose this babe. Oh my God. Axl Rose joined Carrie Underwood for what they call a lively romp through Welcome to the Jungle. All I can say is thank God it wasn't that other damn song. What is it?
Sweet Child of Mine?
Sweet Child of Mine. Jeez, I've heard
They've done that one
enough.
together. He's joined her
before.
So.
I thought so.
He's joined her before.
What a babe. Look at that.
Yeah, this show was in Los Angeles, and he got on and did Welcome to the Jungle, which she's been doing on tour, which I can't even imagine.
If she can hit the notes, Carrie Underwood, why not? She's like a hot
been doing
ticket.
that song on tour, which kind of seems odd, but she's a big Guns N' Roses fan, always has been. And so I guess they kind of developed a friendship over the years, kind of, sort of. I don't know. Who knows?
Well, he's like her aunt. He's like her aunt. Now, he comes over and gives her auntly advice because he looks like an aunt.
But last May, they joined up and they did Sweet Child of Mine and Paradise City, and then this time they just did Welcome to the Jungle. So
great song.
might have been kind of cool if you're going to Carrie Underwood concert and actually.
Yeah, and he may. I wonder if he showed up on time. That is the question, or did he screw up again? And always late. You know the story. Yeah. Speaking of,
well, it was during the encore, so they probably told him, come at the beginning.
There's Alice. Hey, this is a cool story. Alice Cooper. He's got a new album coming out. And this is really cool. There's not going to be any overdubs on this album, and we'll be seeing this summer. But he's putting a whole new show together, and his new album is going to be no overdubs. Just so when they play it live, there'll be nothing missing. It'll be exact like the records, which I think is pretty cool.
He's kind of said he's kind of wants to show off his band, so he's doing this album. They're working on it now. Yeah, and they haven't put out a release date or anything yet, but says he wants to do it to see everybody how good his band is. There's no overdubs, and then if you see him live, it's going to be exactly like that. So,
and
definitely a cool concept these days,
Yeah, and he's also working on new material with some of the other members of the original Alice Cooper, Michael Bruce, Dennis Dunaway, and drummer Neil
Yeah, I didn't
Smith.
know if you saw that. Yeah, I'm glad you
Ah,
brought that up. Yeah,
yeah,
so
yeah, yeah. So, boy, this
he never
guy,
stops, man. He's always
no,
got so many irons
no,
in the fire, man. He's
he's
just,
a legend, and we'll be seeing him this summer. So
oh
it'll be
yeah,
very exciting to see a new show, which is just going to
oh
include
yeah,
all sorts of things we know.
oh
I
yeah,
mean,
yeah. He doesn't
so
mess around, man. He knows how to
what
put
a
on a show.
catalog. Yeah, yeah. He
Oh
knows
yeah.
what's going on. So this is very exciting. But that'll be coming up in, let me see, what is this, show 51? That'll be not next week, but the week after. We'll be doing our end of the first of the year concert spectacular, summer concert spectacular.
Yeah, well,
Very excited about that, man.
yeah, I'll have that coming
Very
up here.
very cool. Next up, and
By the way, which is people look back, that was our very, very first episode. So
yeah,
we'll be doing another one much like that for this year. So
you betcha, you betcha.
yeah.
Here we go. Well, I've been complaining about this. We've been talking about this. I myself think technology itself is just going to destroy everything, but now we've gotten to AI, and there's the Rolling Stone headline. It reads, a bunch of top music advocates want to ensure that AI doesn't replace your favorite artist. And AI is really going to be dangerous, man. I know in terms of music, it's going to, wow, it could change just everything.
Well, yeah, we got songwriting software out there, and now they got the voice cloning software. Where we talked about that a couple shows back. And so yeah, the record companies are kind of getting together, the record industry academies and those kind of folks are getting together and kind of want to make sure that this doesn't get out of control, man. And so they're kind of putting a stop to it. I don't know how you can police it though. How are you going to police it? How you know?
How you gonna know?
How are you going to know?
How are you gonna know? Wow. I don't know. Jeez. They've got these real fakes that you can they can make anybody sound like an actor or something,
Right,
voice
right.
wise. And what's to say that they don't do that with singers and stuff?
Well, yeah, we
Start
talked
coming
about
out.
that a while back. That producer did that with Eminem. He put Eminem's
Right.
voice
Yeah,
on
yeah,
there.
yeah. That's what got me thinking about it. I
Yeah.
saw that tape last week. And yeah, it's like, holy cow. What if they start doing that to actual vocals? Like, here's Rob Halford, but it ain't really Rob Halford. Boy, this is going to change everything. Just, they have a good reason to be concerned about that because, boy, you know, maybe it'll be good music. I don't know. Oh, Jiminy
Nah.
Creepers. This is wild. Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of where we've been headed technology wise for
Wild,
a
Wild
while.
West,
They've
man.
been getting more and more involved in music and taking the soul out of it. But yeah, that would take it to the end result, I suppose. But
We'll see what happens, man.
it's just good to hear that they're working on, trying to, squelch this. At least that's, a step in the right direction. Like I said, I don't know how they could police it. I don't know, but
Peter Gabriel.
hopefully they do.
I just saw on Peter Gabriel spoke up about it. I saw that, and yeah, he says, it could totally ruin music. It could change everything. It totally, yeah. I see his point. I've known it. I knew it.
We'll hope and live long enough to see where that goes.
All right. Okay. Before we get to our next one here, real quick, this is I have to bring this up just for S's and grins here. Let me get the picture up there. There's a picture. Folks may not. If you're my age, you'll recognize the picture as the cover of the Woodstock album, the live Woodstock album, and that gal right there with the sunglasses on. That's an iconic photo. And Bobby Erkeline, she passed away just recently. So there you and that. It's iconic. And the reason they realized it was them because they had no idea when the album came out that they were on it. She said, "You see that orange and yellow butterfly? Well, the guy who had that was OD'd, and so we were with him to help him come down off of his bad trip, and we just standing around, and boom, they took the picture, ended up on the cover of Woodstock, and she passed away. But boy,
That
forever.
couple remained together, right?
Yes, They
Yeah,
were
yeah,
together
yeah.
for. They were only there one day. Mostly, basically, the afternoon they were there, just the afternoon. So they had a busy afternoon. They helped a guy down from a bad trip, and then they stand. She said she realizes just because of the butterfly and the blanket they had on. She said, oh,
Right.
that was us. So that's yeah. The blanket belonged to a guy named Herbie from
I bet
Huntington
they didn't
Beach, and
receive anything for it. What do you
oh
think?
no, but oh,
Yeah.
legend. She's immortalized forever. So
Other than exactly being immortalized
that's a
on the album cover,
that's
but
a
yeah.
cool little story. Yeah. So they were together for 54 years. So
Wow.
God bless them, man. So how about that? Good for them. But now, jeez.
Also passing this week.
Yes. Yeah. Where is he here? Let's get him on up here. There he is. Jim Gordon. Jim Gordon. He's one of the names you really don't hear much.
Yeah,
You
not a
won't
household
hear
name, but
anything about that. But you've heard the music he's played on. I'll tell you what, Jiminy Creepers. Actually a member of the Wrecking Crew,
yep.
and he was Traffic's drummer, and just
Yeah, when he was with the Wrecking Crew, Hal Blaine, who was like the king of the Wrecking
he was
Crew,
his mentor, right?
Yeah,
Hal
he
Blaine,
was his
right?
mentor, and whenever he was busy and couldn't do a session, Jim Gordon was the guy he would recommend. So he's obviously well thought of, well respected as a drummer in that world. So, and then like I said, joined Traffic. Later this is all the people he's worked with that they mentioned: John Lennon, Cher, the Byrds, Jackson Brown, Joan Baez, Alice Cooper, Tom Waits, Neil Diamond, George Harrison, Yoko Ono, Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers, Mel Torme, and many others. Carly Simon, You're So Vain, Mason Williams, Classical Gas, and Glenn Campbell's Gentle on My Mind. So this guy, he's top notch.
Well, he played
top-
on
top
Pet
notch
Sounds
drummer.
for crying out loud.
Right,
Pet Sounds is like one of the best albums ever. He played on Layla.
right.
Just played on a lot.
Well, he was a member of Derek and the Dominoes.
Derek and the
right?
Dominoes, yeah. And after that, whatever they were after, let me see
Went from
here.
Traffic to Derek and the Dominoes.
Rita Coolidge was his girlfriend, but he had schizophrenia. The bottom line
He
is
was on Nielsen Schmielsen. He was on that too.
okay.
Yeah, also with Frank Zappa, he was on Apostrophe and on Steely Dan. Rookie, don't lose that number.
Wow.
And you're playing with Zappa and Steely Dan.
You're at the top of your game.
Man.
Yeah.
You
Well, you're
chops.
at the top of your game. Period. But he was diagnosed with schizophrenia, and he ended up killing his mother in 1983. That was a weird story there. Let me see if I
with
can
a hammer and a butcher knife.
Boy, oh boy. Yeah. What a shame.
But yeah, he had issues with drugs and alcohol, and kind of started hearing voices, and they were telling him to do bad and evil things and stuff. And you got the story there.
Yeah. It happened June 3rd. Yeah, he attacked his 71-year-old widowed mother with a hammer, then fatally stabbed her with a butcher knife. He claimed that a voice told him to kill her, and then after his arrest for murder, he was properly diagnosed with schizophrenia. After his trial, the court accepted that he had acute schizophrenia, but he was not allowed to use an insanity defense because of changes to California's law. So he was sentenced to 16 years to life in prison in '84, and he was denied several times parole. And in 2014, he didn't even attend his hearing, denied parole until at least 2018, and he was still messed up even in 2018, seriously psychologically incapacitated and a danger when he is not taking his meds. So he's re-diagnosed in 2017 with schizophrenia, and in 18 denied parole for the 10th time. And boy, oh boy, he's just as of 2023, he's serving his sentence at the California Medical Facility. It doesn't sound like he's going to be. Or wait a while. He died March 13th. Oh my goodness! Yes. Just a week ago.
He just died. Yeah.
Age of 77. So boy, what a yeah. Gee, he's so glad for his legacy of music, but at the same time, man, what
Dude
demons?
definitely has some mental issues, man.
What demons he had?
It's too bad because
wow.
getting proper treatment. You got probably could live a somewhat normal life. Definitely wouldn't have killed his mom.
Jiminy
But
creepers.
yeah, he says here in an interview with the Rolling Stone in '85, says I wanted to stay away from her. I had no choice. It was so matter of fact, like I was being guided like a zombie. She wanted me to kill her, and good riddance to her. So yeah, he would hear these voices over in his head,
Wow.
just telling him to do these evil things, and just like he felt like he had no choice. And so
Man, the list of
that's some
songs here
serious
on
mental illness, man. Oh, I mean, God, this
the
guy's
list
playing
of
on everything.
songs on the Wikipedia page is stunning.
Yeah,
It's everybody.
yeah.
It's wow. It's everybody. It's amazing. So wow, wow,
Yeah,
wow.
Rolling Stone, they put out one of their list, of course, of top drummers, and he was 59. Rick 59, greatest drummer of all time. So,
Wow. Man, oh man. Damn. Well, life's a bitch,
just
man.
goes to show
Jeez.
you, man.
Yeah, yeah. Sometimes the most creative
Nonetheless, rest in
people,
peace.
is shit going on. That's what makes them creative. Some of the
Yeah.
most creative people were totally out of their freaking minds. So, oh
Torture.
boy. Yep. Man, oh man, another ton of news, Doc. I don't know, man. It just keeps slamming us every week. That's great, though. I love it. I love moving on to new chapters in the various soap operas that go on in the rock
Right.
world, and
Yeah.
I just love the heck out of it. But
So now we got the whole thing with Carmen Appice and Motley Crue. We'll probably be hearing
Oh,
more
yeah.
from, and
we'll see what goes
You
on
know,
there. Yeah, but
yeah.
definitely at the same time, folks. Yeah, go to our Facebook page, RnRGzrs Show Facebook page, and check out Vanilla Fudge, and check out Carmen Appice. He may be what Nikki Sixx calls a washed up whatever now, but he's like 77 years old. So,
yeah.
but check out that video, see him in his prime. You'll be very impressed by him. But as always, Doc, thanks a lot, man, for joining us and joining me. And another great one, man. Sure appreciate it. And why don't you take us home, eh?
Absolutely, man. Excellent shows. I knew it would be this week, man. We had too many good topics. I knew it'd be a good one. So yeah, if you haven't done so, please hit that subscribe button. It would really help us spread the word and get the algorithms kind of working in our favor a little bit to YouTube can get us out there a little bit more. Yeah, really appreciate everybody that already has subscribed. We love you to death. So in the meantime, we'll do it again next week, and we'll see you then. Have a great rock and roll filled week until then. See you next time.